Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another official episode of Bandwidth and Banter. Not that yesterday wasn't an official episode. It was just a special episode, right? But today is regular Bandwidth and Banter Day. Druid.
5 weeks off, the longest 5 weeks of my life.
I know, it's crazy. Like, we really needed it. And I enjoyed it, the break, but I found myself missing and craving it so much. And so that's good. That means that we know we're on the right track and we're doing the right thing. It's something we enjoy doing. So I look forward to all the amazing folks that we have in store, going forward. We had some incredible folks. Last year was fantastic.
Amazing.
Ending with Squeaks.
Yes. Yes.
And then we kicked things back off again with Legacy Lore Masters last night with Iltacine.
Precious Ilt.
So it's awesome. Bandwidth and Banter back again with Druid and Stormy D. What's up? Let's
excited.
go. Right?
We're so ready. And who do we have on today, Stormy? First back.
Yeah, so our first person back is I'm thrilled to have on here. We've actually had him on our list for a while, and because he's just brilliant and entertaining. And a very sweet person, and I'm glad that you found him. And
he random rated me.
Well, okay, that he found you. Then I'm glad that he found you, because he's exactly the kind of folk that we like to lift up on Twitch and share with our audience. So, without further ado, I'm speaking of none other than SirVivalistGaming. Let's have him on right now. Hey, buddy.
Hello, everyone.
Please reintroduce yourself and share something about your stream that you want to highlight.
Oh, for sure. I'm so happy to be here. I am SirVivalist of SirVivalistGaming, and it is so weird to say that not on my own channel. Something I would like to share about my stream is, I still feel very new. A lot has happened in this year, and it feels like a lot was thrust forward in a way that I wasn't even prepared to kind of take on. So each day is a new challenge, and everyone that's coming along to join up with that has been such an uplifting presence, and I love that. And that's one of the best things that I've gotten out of my Twitch channel, out of my community, and that's what I'd like to showcase with a hello.
Right on. That's awesome. Well said, sir. That's fantastic. I guess I'm kicking off these questions, Druid.
Kicking it off. Yeah.
Okay.
Kick it off.
Even though I kicked them off yesterday, it seems unfair.
Go for it. No, it's okay.
All right. Here we go. All right. Survivalist. Question number 1. Please share a boring fact about yourself.
Oh, Lord, a boring fact. Where do I begin? Okay. Something boring about me is I have bounced between collectibles. And as much as a lot of people would say that, there's an excitement in chasing it, when I've been at the end of the collectible road and I'm looking at everything on my shelf, I'm like, how did I get here? What happened? What happened to bring me to this point? I went to the dollar store. I picked up a $4 Funko Pop, and now I'm looking at a $600 rare, one-of-a-kind stickered Funko Pop. I feel like that's somewhere between boring and weird fact or interesting fact, whatever you'd like to choose.
I love it. As a collector myself, I get it.
Yeah, she collects some weird random stuff. That's all right. That's what you love is what you love, and that's what we like to show, to highlight people's passions here on Bandwidth and Banter. So
that's one awesome thing about being on Druid's channel. She's always like, I have to show you something, and runs off to the corner and pulls out an ancient artifact that she's like, I've had this for 3 years and it brings me the greatest luck and joy. And I love it. That's the energy.
I agree.
My fish, my random metal fish that I got. But I love it. Anyways, first of all, Vala Magulis.
Valadohyrus.
How did you pick your Twitch name, and what was the inspiration?
So, for the inspiration of SirVivalistGaming, I didn't start on Twitch. I actually started streaming on Facebook, and I didn't even know about streaming until maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. And I started watching this person, Mizu, who plays Rocket League on Facebook, fantastic streamer. And then because I didn't understand what streaming was, joining that and understanding what the community was, what actually streaming meant and being a part of it, I went from that and I was like, okay, I'm watching all these fantastic people come up with ideas now. I'm slowly like want to be going out there. And what's a good name that's going to draw them out? Yeah. And I'm like, well, it has to be clever. It has to be not too difficult. And I came up with SirVivalist, and I liked it. I've loved it, and I've ran with it.
Love it.
It's very cool. I love the you know, the way you spell it and run it together. It makes it unique and easy to find when when we're trying to find you on Twitch.
Yeah.
So,
and you can do a lot of fun wordplay with stuff with it, which we've noticed that you've done.
Yeah.
And it makes it very, very cool.
The Obsidian Table. I've had some pretty creative names for the sirs that join up with that. Sorry, Dread. I'm excited to be here. Continue.
No, that's all right. It's all right. Next.
I'm like,
wait. Yep. Next question then. Getting into the nitty gritty of you. What D&D class do you consider yourself to be IRL?
I've always resonated between a fighter and a sorcerer. Like, I like the raw power and the energy that sorcery brings, and I've always been on the front lines. And as much as I like being a caster, I feel like I need the warrior part of me to be a part of that. So I would go with Spell Sword.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
That's my favorite build in Skyrim.
It's so fun.
Yeah, so I was telling you about my campaign that we're doing on Sundays with my personal group, right? Normally, I've been DMing them for most of those years, but the last year and a half, one of our players is DM'd so that I get a chance to play, and I'm playing a oh God, what's the name of it? It's one of the best blade singers that you. It's not the actual blade singer subclass that's in 3.5. It's I know this is a slight tangent, but
a little bit of a tangent.
Yeah.
We're also excited to have Survivalist here today. We've had him on the schedule for like almost 3 months or something like that. So we've been sitting here waiting and waiting.
Yeah, we had to celebrate through all the Christmas months and all the New Year's times, and now we're here. So
that subclass, that prestige class I'm playing is called a Dusk Blade, which is really cool. So
that's a fancy title.
Yeah, yeah. Because I knew you were a fan of 3.5. That's why I wanted to bring it up. But thank you for answering that. You're a spell slinger of some kind. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Spell sword.
Sorry, spell sword. Yeah. Spell sword. Yeah. I don't know why I said slinger. I was thinking of Fate's character.
Survivalist. What edition of D&D did you start with, and do you have a favorite?
Oh, well, here we go. All right. So where did I start? I started in 3.5, and I had a really old school DM. Like, he was a by the book person, and he really brought me into the world of D&D and showed me the possibilities of the fun we could have doing it. So 3.5, I remember I started just after playing Dragon Age Origins. I made the noble dwarf into a character for my D&D run. Had so much fun. That will live with me forever. If I have to choose my favorite within the D&D category, it would probably be 3.5. Like, I've enjoyed different editions, but 3.5 just had some of the greatest moments.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're a man after my own heart. I've played every edition since the original BX set when I started in 1981. And so I really loved Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, but 3.5 really just, it took Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and improved upon it in every way. And I'm with you. 3.5 is pretty much like at the top. In regards to D&D, tell us about your favorite player character that you created and played with.
Oof, that one hurts. To choose a favorite. Okay. I have to say my favorite that I've ever played was when I made a rogue gnome. And I made this rogue gnome to be a magic specialist. So I still held all the aspects of stealth, but it was all trickery and magics and shenanigans. And I had so much fun with the players. Everyone was having a good time. And right at the end, my sweet little gnome guy, there was this stone. I can't remember what the class was, but they were made out of crystals, and he betrayed us. And I just got my thing, and I stabbed him in, and we both fell off the ledge, and I will always remember that character. I went out with a flash of fey trickery, and it was beautiful.
That's awesome. That's very cool. And that was you playing, not as a DM with an NPC, right? Awesome.
That was a player moment, yes.
Because we just since we're talking D&D stuff, I'm gonna spoilery tease everybody. In next month, we're gonna be having Survivalist Gaming on again for Legacy of Lore Masters to hear all about his perspective and his point of view and his DM style. So. Anyway,
not that it could get more hype.
Yeah.
I know, right? Let's go. Do you plan or want to create any D&D content for your channel in the future? Is that something that you're interested in doing?
For sure. I've been kind of, like I said, still into the youth of streaming. So I'm learning what I can do that really brings people forward into the community and helps everything grow while still being in a comfort zone that I'm okay with doing. And I've loved DMing and doing all that. So at one point, I would definitely like to have that crossover and find like a nice way to be able to do tabletop games and stream.
Cool. Right on.
Well, can you help? We can help.
All right.
The tech part.
Yeah. Switching gears a little bit here. Now, this is getting more into the nitty gritty of you as a streamer. What drew you to Twitch?
Actually, one individual. I would like to show some love to Peggy Ruar. He is one of the sirs of the Obsidian Table, a fantastic friend, and another cook alongside me in my job in the Army. He pestered me, I would like to say, into joining Twitch. And I wasn't sure because like I said, started on Facebook, and it was really hard to navigate that algorithm and find anybody. Even though I had a couple people come by, I was doing horror games. I was such in my element, and so I went over to Twitch and I met fantastic person after fantastic person. I started playing Skyrim, a game I really loved, and the Skyrim community is above and beyond fantastic, welcoming, and really made me feel like I wanted to push more into being on Twitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you, this is a slight, but it's still sort of on topic. I'm just curious though. Do you multi-stream to both Twitch and Facebook now, or do you just only stream primarily to Twitch now?
I'm primarily on Twitch. I actually just heard because some friend that I used to watch on Facebook, they took off Facebook Gaming officially. Like the category's dead. Oh. So now for the kind of streaming stuff that I would do, it wouldn't even be a thing for Facebook as far as I know.
Gotcha.
And I'm happy with Twitch. Like, as much as I feel like there's might be potential doing multi-stream platforms and reaching out through different people, I want to continue getting more comfortable doing what I'm doing here before I expand into that.
Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. I do want to just completely agree with the whole Skyrim community thing too, because that's literally how I got my start on Twitch as well, is with the Skyrim community. And that's how, Stormy and I met, is through playing Skyrim. So
what?
Shout out to the Skyrim community.
I thought you were playing
Well, I was also playing Skyrim. So that's how I met Josher and everybody.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
that's how I met Ezo. And you were playing Skyrim. That's how we,
Was I playing? Oh, that's right. I was playing Skyrim at the time, and Daggerfall.
And Daggerfall. You were doing a Wabbajack mod list.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right on. Sorry, like it's been it's been almost like 4 years, like 3+ years now.
3+ years now. Yeah. Wow.
Something about time flying.
Yeah, about time flying or something like that. What did your friends and family think when you told them you started streaming?
Well, there's a lot of indifference. I feel like when I bring up a lot of Twitch talk, when I'm talking with my everyday person,
Mhm.
my mom was really supportive because like it's at a point where I really needed new hobbies, something to really fill what I was doing. And
Mhm.
she seen that I was doing well. Like people seemed to be coming along. I was
Mhm.
enjoying what I was doing and she was happy with it for sure.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. That's
I
awesome.
love that.
She
Yeah.
pops in every time from time to time. It's a rare treat. I actually did a stream with my mom. I'm not sure if you all were able to catch that, but it was one of
No.
my follower goals. She came on and she ended up streaming a little bit of the Telltale Walking Dead game. And she's not a gamer, so like it was a really enjoyable moment for the channel.
That's
That's
really
so
cool.
cute. I missed it.
Yeah. You don't
I
happen to have
lurk
the
in almost.
VOD for it downloaded, do you?
It might be up. I whatever the 3 month capacity or
Okay.
whatever it is for Twitch.
All right, I'm gonna have to hunt that down.
So, on that note, kind of sort of a segue there, what struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming?
So I did hit the wall that I feel like a lot of streamers face where they log on and it's just that one number that's sitting there and you're streaming. You have to learn to talk to yourself, enjoy what you're doing, and still manage to put on a show, even if nobody's watching, because somebody
Mhm.
might pop in just for a moment and see what's going on. And you're like all miserable in your chair. You're not really going to
Mhm.
bring people in more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I went through that initially. And after I got over that stage, I felt like it all happened too fast for me. Like a lot of things just started piling on, and I felt like a lot of success hit me. And I just wanted to continue to do that, but it's not
Mhm.
as easy as wishing.
Yeah.
I like put a lot of effort into it and I
Sure.
continue forward. But I realized at some point there's going to be a point where things kind of slip off, and I didn't want that to demoralize me.
Yeah.
And there's
Mhm.
moments just like even when I was doing my previous stream, I was doing Kingdom Come Deliverance,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a super popular category right now. Like to be able to be anywhere near the front of a page would be a blessing and a half. And
Yeah.
I was happy to come out and play it, and I got to do a head-to-head challenge with my friend Liz by the Sword, and it's been such a good time. But when I see such low numbers, I'm like, am I doing something wrong? No, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm doing nothing that I was when I first began, and that was number was 1 or 2. And I'm glad that I can at least have the people that are showing up be there for me, and I love that still. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The numbers thing, that the ebb and flow of the numbers is like wild to watch sometimes. But yeah.
Yeah, it can be you're right about it. You have to steel yourself so that it isn't demoralizing, because it's just an ebb and flow of people. I mean, human beings are interested in things for a while and they want to go do something. They crave variety. So it's it is what it is.
What tips can you share with future streamers?
So, for somebody that might be just starting up their streaming career, I would like to say make it unique. Like, take everything that you enjoy about yourself, that's special about you, and throw it into your channel, because that's what people want to see. They're there to be a part of what you got going on and about what you're sharing. And I felt like I managed to jump into my channel and get really comfortable kind of just being myself. And that had such a positive like comeback to me that I would suggest that anybody just getting into Twitch, take the time, learn about yourself so you can explain yourself to other people.
That's great advice. Yeah. That's really good.
Great advice. 100%. Take that one piece of you.
Yeah. I mean, it's
everyone.
It's a natural part of philosophy. Know thyself is one of the most powerful things that human beings can do in their life. Because we so
Yeah.
Moving on to the next interesting question, though. What do you enjoy most about streaming?
And that's a hard one for me to answer because there's a lot that I get out of it, to be honest. I play a lot of solo games. Like I played a lot of solo games my whole life, role-playing games, story-based games where I have to do strategy against AI, NPCs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So to be able to hit a platform where people who are in that same boat, who are playing the single player games that I wouldn't connect with because they're single player games get to sit down and share their stories, be a part of what I got going on. And there's something about that really feels nice after years of just RPG gaming by myself. I love that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. That's great.
Yep. How long have you been playing video games, and what was the first one you ever played?
Yes. So I've been a gamer as long as I can honestly think. I've had Game Boys to Sega Genesis. I went into the N64. I slowly upgraded through Xbox to PlayStation, and I've always loved it. You know, like I met a lot of fun friends that I've enjoyed sitting down playing games. I even had a phase where I did Dance Dance Revolution pretty hardcore, and I slayed that. I love that game. And if I could find one of those legit like metal dance pads, I would guarantee buy one of those and have that away for an occasion.
Right on. That's awesome. What is yeah, what was the first game you ever played when you first started?
I can remember going back into my head. There was Sonic when I played Sega Genesis, and playing Sonic is such a classic. But right around the same time, and I'm not sure if one came before the other, I played the Jurassic Park game. And that was I can't even remember, Super NES, but like you have to go through the side scroller as like the explorer, and then you turn into the raptor at one point, and playing that game was super intense. It's like the Lion King game back in the day. Like even extreme gamers today sit down and they're raging because you die, you go back to level 1, and that's not something you see in today's games.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Crazy.
Challenge gamer born.
Yeah. Well, so what is your this is a tough one. But name one of your most favorite games and least favorite games that you have played on stream.
On stream. Okay. So this is a small list, and out of all the games I played, the one that I've enjoyed the most, I feel like would probably be Fallout. Like I've met a lot of people that really, because Fallout's a game you can play in so many different ways, just like Skyrim.
Yeah.
But there's something special about like Fallout in particular that I feel such in my element that it just feels so much I feel so much enjoyment to sit down and enjoy that feeling I was talking about the game and sharing it with everybody.
Which Fallout?
As far Yeah, Fallout's been such a great series.
No, I was asking which Fallout. You said Fallout, but
Fallout 4.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah,
go on.
I started playing Fallout 3, but Fallout 4, as much as a lot of people say it's not one of the best of the Fallout series, I love how you're able to put a character into your mind and make it happen from the very beginning. As soon as you walk out of that vault, you can start becoming that. And I think Fallout 4 nailed that.
Nice.
And
nice.
Sorry, game that I didn't enjoy as much. Oh, it's so hard. It's really hard. If I had to say one, it might be Alien Dark Descent. And Alien Dark Descent was fun. It was challenging. It was new. I love the Alien genre and series. But there was points in that game where I was just like, I sat through my last stream. It took me 11 hours, and I was just planning on doing a 4-hour stream. So like, I'm like, I'm finishing this game. It's going to happen right now. And 11 hours came, and I'm like, I can't believe it. I'm not playing this. We're done. I won. I'm walking away. It was an enjoyable experience, but that last little bit maybe left a bitter taste in my mouth.
I understand. That's not one I've played.
It's fun. In moderation.
That's so what made you think to do themed Skyrim runs, and what is the process of creating these characters?
Oh, this one's easy. This one's from the heart. So I played these games no different than I was when I wasn't streaming. I always put it into my mind to make a fun quirk for my character, to make it challenging so I could come back and enjoy the game in a different way. And that's where the concept is born. I'm like, have I played the game this way? would I like to try this? I've never done a game where I've just only used stolen things.
Mm-hmm.
So things are born from wanting to experience it in a new way.
Love it.
That's cool.
I'm gonna add an extra question into this. What is your favorite theme that you did on stream?
That's a good question.
I have maybe a slight addiction to what permadeath brought to my soul. Like I felt really involved when I was playing permadeath. Like you feel like you die, it's end. You put a lot of love into that character if you wanted to succeed. So that feeling was fantastic. But my favorite character that I streamed was my very first, Necra the Necromancer. And Necro was a lot of fun, and like seeing how much people enjoyed my weird way of playing Skyrim. I got to just beat up dragons with a knife and magic. It was a really challenging run. It was really entertaining, and we got to finish with a final necromantic ritual to become a lich. Not mods or anything. I collected 100 skulls. I got a bunch of staffs and cool things, and then I let my companion slay me, and it was a great time.
That's wild. That's amazing.
It's so beautiful. That is so beautiful. I love it. I love it.
I do keep my finales. So all of my finales are in a folder you can watch and find if you ever wanted to watch that.
Oh, okay. For sure. Yeah. I definitely would like to catch some of those. Switching gears a little bit here, what inspired the Knights of the Obsidian Table? I admire that you came up with a similar Arthurian-inspired idea that I did for my channel. I don't know if you've noticed in my About section, but when I started Twitch, 4 years ago, I did, the Knights of the Infinity Table. And so I just think that's amazing that you and I kind of have this same kind of Arthurian mindset. So please share what inspired you to create the Knights of the Obsidian Table.
Well, one thing I'm sure you understand is there's a good feeling about that kind of medieval respect and honor. Yeah. And when I chose the name SirVivalist, I made my icon with the dark armor. I was like, I'm falling into a theme here, and I'm happy the way it's going. So I really wanted to showcase the people who were doing things for the channel that, like, I was in the very beginning. They were showing up, my first subscription, things that were special. I honored by granting titles. And I thought that was a good way to show them, hey, I think I appreciate what you're doing here. So here's a little bit of love. And the names they came up with were so fun. I was like, we got to keep it going,
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's another thing you and I have in common. That's so funny. I come up with a funny lord of something for everybody.
I love it. It's a nice thing to add to the channel.
Yeah. I don't feel like obviously we didn't know each other, so it's not like either one of us copied each other. But it shows that there are folks out there who have this, like you said, there's a thing about chivalry and the idea of knights in the days of King Arthur, and that's the shining city on the hill that it is, and Camelot and Excalibur and everything. My second favorite movie of all time is the 1980, is it 81 or 77? Anyway, the movie Excalibur. Highly recommend you watch it if you've never seen it.
I'm gonna have to write it down. I have my pencil. Thank you, God.
I'm pretty sure it's 77, but it's old. But what's funny is you will recognize a lot of the actors in that movie. 81. So it was the same year that I started playing D&D. Wow, that's wild.
Coincidence.
Yeah, not really. Probably not. But so it has young versions of Gabriel Byrne, Patrick Stewart, Liam Neeson.
Was Patrick Stewart ever young? Was that a thing?
Well, he looked identical as he did on Star Trek. He was still the same bald person in this movie that he was in Star Trek.
Just saying.
So, yeah.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, I highly recommend if you love medieval fantasy, like is obvious to me you do. That is to me the pinnacle of every of any King Arthur movie that exists. It's the pinnacle. Like nothing has touched it so far.
It's gonna have to compare against The Sword and the Stone.
That's a really good one too. I gotta admit, that's a really good one. The Disney one that's like 80 minutes long. That's super good. She might have seen.
Did we just awaken something inside Druid?
Yeah, I feel like I might have seen that one.
She might have seen it, which is rare because she doesn't ever watch any movies. But probably as a kid, she caught it because it's really good.
My mom is a Disney person, and she's made me watch like literally every single Disney movie all the way up until I could say the words "no, thank you." But I feel like I've seen it. I'll add that to my list of things to watch on the watch parties.
Oh, dude, you let me know when you do that, and I'll host it. I'll be the one showing it because I own it on DVD. So, although I don't have a DVD player in my PC anymore, so I don't know how. I'll figure something out. I'll buy it again on Amazon. At any rate, so back to questions. I want to hear more about Survive.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Do you have a favorite Uncle Iroh quote, and what and why is that Uncle Iroh quote?
Oh, this one's going to be a bummer. I do not like the thing about when I get to read off a quote from Uncle Iroh is every time I read it, it could impact people in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could say the same thing 1,000 times, but the way that Uncle Iroh speaks, it's supposed to be taken from your perspective and you're supposed to grow from it. Mm-hmm. And it's so hard for me to be like, that one's my favorite because it might mean something different to me at a different time. So
do you have one that like stands out the most, that pops into your head that first?
Well, the first one that pops into my head is one of life's greatest pleasures is sharing tea with a stranger.
Mm.
And
nice.
like, and just diving into that a little bit, it's the ability of being out there and sharing something you love with someone that you don't even know and being able to reciprocate that feeling. And that's a beautiful little wisdom.
That's the essence of connection, for sure. That's awesome. So how did you, this is something we were both curious about. How did you come to join the Skyrim TV raid training group?
Oh, well, I was once again blessed by being invited by the leader of Skyrim TV, which is a Bunny Goddess 33. And I got to slowly know a lot of people in the Skyrim community, a lot of fantastic people that really, like I said, made me feel very welcomed. And Bunny Goddess actually came to me and she's like, I really love what you got going on your channel, and I would like for you to come and take part of it. And I felt like everyone that I've met from Skyrim TV was fantastic, and I would be honored to take part with it too.
Wow.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's going to be coming back. It's coming back.
You're the perfect person to be doing it.
Oh, it's so good. So good. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize. I already asked this question. Do you have a favorite character from any of your playthroughs from the Skyrim runs? Which one you answered, so we can move on to the next one.
Well, that's all right. Yeah. Tell you what, we'll take this little moment since there's supposed to be a question here, and we'll do a little aside. And I obviously, as a first-person perspective RPG fan, like you are, like I am, are you excited for Avowed that's getting ready to launch this month?
I'm so sucked into games. I'm so sucked into games right now. Like every time a new game comes out, I'm like, wow, they have all these new cool features. Like I can't wait to dive into that. And that list has gotten expanded a lot. And Avowed looks like it's going to be really cool, but I haven't gone into it enough to really see like aspects of the game that would be particularly interesting.
Gotcha. Well, I couldn't resist and picked it up. I'll be doing a 12-hour stream on Thursday. So if you wanted to pop by to check out to see if it's a game you want to try out, since it's Skyrim-esque, right? Even though it's set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. Yeah, it's.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited to
I
check
just want
it
to
out.
see you survive the 12-hour stream. It's a rough one.
Ditto. Ditto.
This is his first one. That shit's not for the faint of heart. I am like not built for them at all.
Like I said, mine was an accident. It was 11 hours. It was like,
What the hell happened at the time? All right. Switching gears to the last kind of few funny questions of the main question group. I should say the last questions of the main question group are funny questions. What is the weirdest sleeping dream you've ever had that you are cool with sharing with us?
oh Lord. Okay. I have a lot of dinosaur dreams from my youth. I don't know what happened with that, but I remember one specifically, and I was in like almost a box zone Jurassic Park space. And I was with a group of people. Our car was at the gate. It was broken down. And then there was a talking velociraptor. And this talking velociraptor was like, maniacal with its voice, like, I'm gonna hunt you, like that kind of stuff. And I just remember my whole dream was that velociraptor taking down everybody, and I'm trying to escape from this. And it just ends. I get into a facility. The raptor gets into a vent, starts taking everyone out, and then it goes through a blender, and it's, well, not to be morbid, but its head comes out of the shifter, and it was still talking to me. And I was like, I can't, I'm done. I need to wake up.
Man, that fever dream needs to be a movie. That sounds awesome.
Oh my God.
My goodness. Were these
Creativity.
like actual proper sized raptors, or like the Jurassic Park, not actually raptors?
Jurassic Park, not actually raptors. But you don't really think about that when they're talking to you, so.
No, true. I just wanted to scale for the size, because my brain's like, raptor, small chicken with teeth. Anyways, that's wild.
That's
I'm
a great
grateful I don't
dream.
remember my dreams. They'd be scary as shit, probably.
Okay, wait, I have to. There's one more. Can I?
Please.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
So I remember I had this dream series when I was young, and I dreamed because I different like periods of points, and I was in love with this vampire girl, and her father was like the master vampire, and he had a coven, and I was like just a guy, like just a guy, and I was not trying to be a vampire. My dream, I felt super cool. I had buddies that were all super cool with me, and it was just a love story in my brain where I was romancing this like vampire princess, and her father was trying to take me out, and I ended up turning into a vampire hunter. But then I had morality because I couldn't kill vampires because I was in love with a vampire. Yes.
That sounds awesome. I love your imagination, sir. You are perfect as a DM.
That also needs to be a book, dude. Oh, it's so good. Oh, I love it.
Oh, my cheeks. Aww.
Survivalist, if you could be any superhero from any comic book, which one would you be and why?
Oh, it's again so hard, but Spider-Man. Not so hard, actually. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man inspires who I want to be as a person as much as he is a superhero. He is a person who never really had a lot, but took what he did have, and he always continued fighting for what was right and good. And even when people put him down, he was always the first to stand back up and try to make the world a better place. And he's a baddie, so.
And he's a baddie.
Yes. He is.
That's so good. Perfect answer.
That's a great answer, and I love it. So last question of the main interview. This is like world-shaking importance, okay?
All right.
It's an either-or question, and the one that you pick stays in reality. The other one ceases to exist. Mutton stew or giant turkey leg?
Can I have other forms of stew still, or is
sure.
stew
We'll
just
say
off the table?
stew or giant turkey leg. Yeah.
I'm gonna take stew to stay in reality and giant turkey leg to be shifted off to not be seen ever again, because the warmth of a stew on a cold winter day makes you feel like no other kind of substance, I would like to say.
That's very true.
That's a great answer. That's awesome. I picked those. Well, we talked about them. We picked them, but I came up with these because I knew you're into medieval fantasy, and they seem like medieval fantasy foods. So classic medieval fantasy foods.
I'm a slow cooker person, and stew is a beautiful thing to get rocking in a slow cooker. So to lose that would be a big blow to my health.
Heck yeah. So interestingly enough, stew is really good to make in a fast cooker too. Like we have one of those Instapots, that it instead of slow cooking it pressure cooks it really fast, and it's great for steaming eggs too. Like you would think that it sounds awful, a steamed egg, but really it's a boiled egg that peels better, the easier. That's the best thing I can say about Instapot eggs. At any rate, that's a weird tangent.
But pressure cookers are amazing. Like the science behind it is pretty mind blowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a little scary too, but yeah, agreed.
Yeah. We are now in the open Q&A part of the interview. So chat, if you have any questions for Survivalist Gaming, please feel free to do so. Also, Survivalist, if you have any questions that you have, you're welcome to ask those. But first and foremost, guys, if you haven't already, there are just a couple of links that I posted in chat. Not that many, just a couple links I posted. Click on those and then go hit that purple little heart and make sure you're following Survivalist. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Just do that. That would be great. If not, you will make my bird very sad. And we don't want that because she's the ruler of all.
And your bird will come and poop on them. If they don't.
In their dreams.
I'm just kidding.
They couldn't possibly make any other decisions. We're all one brain cell.
Yeah. We are all, yes, you were, I mean, that's true. Hive mind, the hive mind. That's right.
Well said. He gets it. He 100% gets it.
Survivalist, do you have like a long-standing inside joke in your chat that like maybe like 2 or 3 people get from like the beginning stages of you streaming? Of like anybody that's like stuck around? Do you have any of those?
That's a hard question.
So when it comes to my channel, like back when I first started playing the Dark Souls series, it was just me and my one friend. And that was back when I was rocking masks. Like I thought it was a fun way to be different. I would constantly switch out my masks, but then I realized all my masks had like mouth coverings, and that made it so difficult to use. But there's a couple of moments where I had some funny moments with masks, and people will bring it up. And I think that's pretty much as deep as that goes, to be honest. We're always in the moment. I can feel that we're very in the moment type of community for sure.
Love it. No, I have inside jokes that won't die.
Yes, she does. Well, she keeps them alive too. She turns them into channel point redeems.
That's true. I'm like, oh, joke made 3 times. All right, this is canon now forever. Most people don't know the origin story of Mohaka. Yeah. So, but she's still around. Mohaka.
So Survivalist Caffeinated Zombie asks, if you were any Batman villain, which one would you pick?
Ooh, that is such a good assortment of rogue. What do I choose? If I was a Batman villain, I think I'd like Clayface. He has a strong power set. He has an interesting motif. He's one of the type of villains that you really need to think to be and not overpower, and I like that.
Not bad. Awesome.
Pelican asks, any weird hobbies?
Oh, goodness. Weird hobbies. I could start at the beginning, but I started picking up Lorcana. And Lorcana was the Disney playing card game. And I picked it up for me and my ex when we were dating. And I was like, oh, we can try this out. It'd be fun. And next thing I know, I'm addicted to it. So I have like almost the full complete 2 sets. Actually, let me pull it out really quick. I'll show you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we got the big old book. We got the big old book here. Let's see if my camera wants to cooperate here. No.
Oh, green screen denied. Green screen denied.
I'll try an individual card.
Oh,
So
cool.
like that's goofy. My camera's already not the greatest. But so yeah, Lorcana
Ooh.
cards.
So
Oh, that's a weird
gives me
hobby.
it gives me a Magic the Gathering vibes.
Yeah.
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 It's probably not as intense as Magic the Gathering, but it is still competitive. Like people get crazy with any sort of card game like that.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh,
that brings up an interesting question then. Since that's a collectible card game you've played, have you ever played Magic the Gathering and or collected?
Yeah, I played Magic the Gathering for a long, long time. Before I even knew it was called Magic the Gathering. And it's been a journey. Like I've gained decks, lost decks, had collections, and there's been points where I've lost a lot of money playing Magic the Gathering.
Yep.
And it's very demoralizing to get back in, more so because you put a lot of love into your collections. You spend time hunting down specific cards, and when it's gone, it really sucks. But in the new year, the new era of Magic, it's getting weird. It's getting weird. Like they're bringing Fallout, all sorts of things.
Yeah, they've added in so many different IPs to Magic that it's gotten ridiculous. I'm with you 100%. I mean, I still play Arena from time to time, but
you got me back in.
Huh?
I've started playing Magic the Gathering Arena because I was.
You cut out there at the end because you were watching.
You and Berserk Zach were both streaming Arena, and I was got back into it because of y'all.
Maybe one day we can connect and play a few rounds. That would be awesome.
What's so funny is Caffeinated Zombie asks, "Would you play Magic the Gathering with Mr. Stormy one day?"
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I would love to do that. That'd be fun. Just for funsies. But I'm with you on the collection thing. Like Starkey and I now, we only just collect. But the last few sets, like she still likes to collect planeswalkers, but the sets are so weird because they're bringing in so many IPs from Star Wars to Fallout to this new set is this Tron racing set called Aether Drift. It's really freaking bizarre, but
I just want the Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
He tried to teach me how to play Magic. This was also before I played D&D and like really got a grasp on like gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not understand it. I was like, this is user error. My brain is.
I'm confident you have enough people that and I've mentored some people. You can ask Starkey. I would love to teach you sometime. Maybe when I come visit you guys in April, we can do something like that. But at any rate,
one thing,
yeah.
Just to wrap up this question was if me and Stormy were to ever play Magic the Gathering, we both had to go into each other's worlds because we're on different worlds. I am a standard player, and I'm pretty sure you're what a modern? Is it modern or commander?
So obviously, modern doesn't exist on Arena, but the equivalent of that is historic.
Historic.
But yeah, I play modern, legacy, but actually standard was my bread and butter for a long time. In fact, Starkitty and I used to go to tournaments. We used to travel to different states and play standard Magic in tournaments, and we would play almost every Friday night at our local place. But over time,
that's why I love it too.
Yeah, over time standard died as a format. People don't even play it anymore on Friday Night Magic. It's just because Wizards of the Coast has ruined it. But at any rate, yeah. But yeah, no, absolutely. I would step into your world. I'd play standard, and you could also try some modern. So Caffeinated Zombie asks another cool question. I don't understand this question at all. Got any Donald Duck?
I do have Donald Duck.
Oh, that's from the card collection.
Oh, the collection. Oh, yeah. Yeah, cool.
The Rumble and Donald. He does not go down easy.
I have to admit that that Donald Duck Donald Duck was WB, right? Warner Brothers, right? I think.
I believe, yeah.
No, or was it?
No, I don't know.
Disney?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
But at any rate, of that, you got Daffy Duck was Warner Brothers. Donald Duck was Disney. Like he
Yeah,
hung out
I
with
think-
Mickey Mouse, right?
Yes, there we go. I was like,
Okay.
I'm still catching up.
Yeah,
My brain just broke.
Donald Duck was my favorite actually. I liked him more than like Mickey and him as a kid. But at any rate, that's a weird.
I feel like we just insulted Donald Duck so hard right now. Wait, Donald Duck was Disney? Like,
No, and the thing is, fun fact, I could not remember that, but I could remember that Donald Duck is actually like, I think he was given like a Purple Heart or something, like as like a war hero.
Mhm,
Like if you like look up Donald Duck, like because he served. That's why he had PTSD and was such an asshole.
Mhm.
Because he would blow up, and that's canon. It's canon. I know that.
Mhm.
We all love.
Speaking of canon, Druid, go ahead and ask Pelicanon's question.
Yeah, Pelican asks anything you're looking forward to in the near or distant future.
So there was a strange face behind you that popped into view in the doorway there, Druid.
Oh, did my mom pop in here?
Was it your mom? Okay.
Oh, she probably heard me say Donald Duck, and she's like, "Huh?"
sorry, could you repeat the question?
Absolutely. Anything you're looking forward to in the near or distant future?
So for the last year and a half, I've been kind of working towards moving more back into my military career, and it's going to be interesting balancing, doing everything that I've done with my streaming life and getting back into doing more of my non-civilian job. And it's going to be but I look forward to trying to balance it out because I love the side of my army. And to be able to carry that over and still spend time with my son. And those are the 3 pillars of my happiness. So.
Oh, that's awesome. On that note, Dan, I'm going to throw a question in here. Is there anything that you would like to tell us about your son that you want to share? Is that something that, because I know that some folks want to keep their significant other and or their children out of the Twitch domain. Is there something that you would like to share or about your son?
Well, when it comes to like the personal details, like not too much. One day would like to share this whole streaming thing with my son.
Mm-hmm.
That was a part of the idea of when I turned my channel into a PG-ish kind of channel. Right. I wanted it to be a comfortable place for people to show up with different mindsets and different ages, different just people in general. Uh-huh. And I knew if I could keep that kind of vibe, my son would go into that and be very comfortable there. And I want him to be a part of it at some point. So
that's so cute.
That's awesome. I know how I can phrase this question that it won't share any personal information. Can you share something about your son that he's the most recent thing that you were very proud of him for that he did?
Very proud of him for. So he takes things like a champ. He has his dad's ability to get knocked in the head and come back up with a smile on his face. And he's a funny little kid, and he would like run into a table because he's super excited, donk down on the ground. I'm like, "You okay?" And he will look at me with tears. I'm like, "You're okay." And he's like, and walks away. And I'm like, "Yeah, there you go."
Go.
That's so cute. That's amazing.
We gotta minimalize the head contact though. We don't want to be losing brain cells too early. So
I know we need all of them to be absorbed into the high. Nope. I won't let that happen. I'll make sure he gets to avoid that. I'm kidding. It's so cute. I love kids. I love kids. I love everybody else's kids.
Yep. I knew you were going to say that. Yep.
I don't want children, but I love kids. Are so much more fun to hang out with than adults. Just saying. Fun fact. In my personal opinion.
Do you want to?
Just saying.
Yeah. This next question is yours, since I kind of made up one, but feel free. Yeah. Even though this is a topic of my heart. Too.
I was waiting for you to get, but anyways, Caffeinated Zombie asks, do you have any favorite anime?
I'm a big anime fan, but my road started with Death Note. It's everybody's first classic, right? And like I feel like a lot of people who wouldn't be interested in anime or who have become interested in anime wouldn't have got there without Death Note.
I've seen
my personal favorite is Sword Art Online, and I'm going to be vindicated for it. It's
You
going to be
are?
vindicated.
Why do you say that?
Because a lot of people they kind of throw a lot of shade on Sword Art Online, and I'm not particularly sure why. But every time I bring it up, it's always like someone's like, "Oh, it's not the greatest anime." I cried, like emotionally, tears were coming down my eyes, and I'm like, "What more could you ask out of a TV show besides awesome, epic combat, an interesting story, and a tear-jerking moment?"
Mhm.
Like, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I watched and enjoyed all of Sword Art Online. I think the first season is some of the best anime that's ever existed,
Yes,
hands
love
down.
it.
I wish they had kind of stuck with that and sort of expanded and made it. I don't know, but I see why, I see why some folks, like, because the other seasons were so different. But like, I'm with you. It was a great anime, and it is one of the best there is, for sure.
But there's also very different kinds of genres,
Mhm.
and they hit you very differently. Like, I've watched Parasite. I don't know if
Yeah,
you have seen Parasite. It's very intense,
it is.
gory type of anime,
Mhm.
but even the story there, very beautiful.
What's the most recent anime that you've watched that's like a most recent, like, new anime or newish?
Overlord. I got
Ah,
sucked into watching Overlord, and oh my god, I was in deep. Like, I had Netflix for like a couple weeks. I was watching my friend's house,
mhm.
and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm gonna throw something on. Overlord came on, and I'm like, uh-oh. I love this guy. This guy is way too cool. He's just like, I am the last standing champion of this world, and I am also lonely. Like,
Yeah, it's it's so good. I rewatched it completely all the way through with Star Kitty. So yeah, I'm with you on Overlord is awesome. If
I would
you
like
ever
to
get a
shoot a question at you
chance,
guys.
without a doubt, Solo Leveling is the pinnacle of anime. Like, it will blow your mind. If you like Sword
Solo
Art
leveling?
Online, you will love Solo Leveling. Um,
I
if you
think
get a chance
Faith's
to
also
watch it,
watching Solo
I don't
Leveling.
know if you have a
Sorry. Yeah,
Crunchyroll
yeah,
account, but yeah.
yeah.
I,
Faith's
I,
also
I
watching
ran
Solo Leveling.
Funimation before Funimation was a thing.
Oh, heck yeah, yeah. Dragon Ball Z all the way.
Yeah. So my question for you guys, in relation to one of the things you asked me, how do you feel about involving your family in your channels and getting them involved?
Um,
I'll let you go first. Yeah.
okay. So I actually don't mind my family popping in. There's no small children, in my house. So it's literally just all grown consenting adults. So my brother comes in and crashes my streams every once in a while. One of my most popular clips is him, handed him the headphones to the chicken dance and he was in the background dancing and everybody thinks he's, the star of the show now. I also have a interview that I did with my mom that I posted up when I
That's
was
so
doing,
cool.
yeah. And I plan on actually doing an interview with my Nana. My mom and my Nana pop into my chat all the time. The one person that I want to get more involved with it is my little sister, but she's off living her young adult life in the real world, and so I'm like, that's fine. Um, but yeah, I have no problem with it. Uh, I do get protective of my brother, but naturally. But that's because my brother is, he talks slower, him being autistic, and it's just one of those things where I'm like, if anybody talks shit, I will end you. And that's my only worry. But I don't feel like that would happen in Stormkeep. That would happen if some random person comes in chat, and the moderators will not stand for that. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I'm always down.
I love that. I have a younger sister, and I feel like when there's a loving bond between brothers and sisters, there's always one person who turns into the warrior. And they don't even have to be a warrior at all. When it comes down to that brotherly, sisterly love, you just
Hmm.
ready to go.
Yeah.
Mm.
My fully automatic stork pistol would not hold back, dude. That's so true.
Yep.
But yeah, no, him and I fiercely defend each other. We've almost fought people for each other on multiple occasions. He's gotten so mad on my behalf before too. My brother's like a 6 foot tall, hulking, just tank of a dude, and I'm like, don't make him mad. I just will be yappy. I would yap you into oblivion. But
The
yeah.
Chihuahua and the Bulldog.
That's funny.
What about you, Stormy?
For me, to answer your question, Starkey and I don't have kids or intend to have kids, but we appreciate when awesome people like yourself do have kids. And but I if I did have kids, I would have the same perspective you did. I'd want to keep their life private until they can make the decisions for themselves.
Yeah.
As far as like Starkitty's my main family, but yeah, I mean, I have. I don't know really what else to say.
That kind of expands. So like when you first joined up as like a couple, did you join Twitch together with the idea you were going to support each other? Did somebody start off and then you were like, hey, it's going well, I want you to be a part of this? Like, how did it play out?
Please share, Stormy.
That's a great
You go
question.
first.
Yeah. So no, actually, I started. I originally wanted to make a YouTube channel, and I got into Twitch because I wanted to get used to being in front of the camera. I was like, well, let me try this Twitch thing because if I can do it live, then I can do recordings. And I also thought that maybe I would, put the stuff that I was doing on Twitch on YouTube. And which I ended up did. I made some videos that were just for YouTube, but then I also put a lot of my content on YouTube from streaming. But Starkitty's always supported me in that from the standpoint that like our plan when we've been together 20 years now, and when we first got together, I told her in no uncertain terms that I wanted to support her in her dreams. And so, for the majority of our relationship during that time, I was the main breadwinner, and she wanted to go to college and get an accounting degree. And she eventually did that. She pulled it off, got an accounting degree. And then now, after she started her career, our agreement was that I would get to pursue my dream, whatever it is, because and that's it turned into this. Like I fell in love with live streaming on Twitch more than I thought I would, and then so I was just streaming. It was just my own gig for a while, but then I ended up meeting Druid and Faith.
I met him,
and I
now
connected.
look at where we are now.
It was kind of funny. I connected to Druid kind of indirectly through Fate. I met her first, and I was like, she's cool, she's funny, she's fun, and but then I had a connection with Fate because his name Extirpate I recognized as a magic card. And I was one of the few people that did. And so we kind of bonded off of that. And because I bonded with him, I felt comfortable bonding with her. And they're like my little brother and sister to me. But at any rate, we got to talking one day about D&D, and that Fate always wanted her to have a really good D&D experience. And she didn't ever get a chance to. I mean, she'd played it before, but it was just more of the, like 12 people getting together and having a D&D party kind of thing. And
that was with Wookiees, and then we had a couple of like attempted start campaigns, but there were like 2 or 3 or 4, and then things just kind of got weird because the DM was new too, and it was nobody's fault because nobody knew what they were doing. It was literally a whole new group of people not knowing what they were doing. So
I said, hey, well, why don't I DM you guys? And so we decided to give it a try, and we planted the seed of maybe we'll stream it, but we can have you guys and Starkitty, and I'll DM the 3 of you, and we'll try sessions offline first, and we did, and we loved it.
Those were like 8-hour-long sessions,
right?
As well. We were like all day long. It was
Those
and then
are the good ones.
We decided to go ahead and start streaming it, and because of that brought in Starkitty indirectly, And then it wasn't until just 6-8 months ago that she started streaming herself for on her own. Of course, she was always here during the D&D streams, but
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So it started off as a kernel of your dream and slowly started to expand, and other people started to become a part of that. And I love that.
Ditto.
Yep.
Ditto.
I weaseled my way in. It was just like, DM for me. Let's start a podcast. I'll keep mine brief. Fate wanted to start streaming. Our good friend SOC Teddy was showed up, helped him set that everything up. I was like, what is this? What is Twitch? I don't get it. So I went and checked out a couple of channels. Then I was like, okay, fine. I guess I'll stream just to see what it's like. And here we are. Here we are. I had no intentions of actually being a streamer. I thought everybody was gonna just be like, this bitch has an annoying voice. But for some reason, people want to sit and listen to it. So, but yeah, here we are.
I love the sound of your voice, Druid.
Thank you.
Especially your laugh.
Appreciate you.
We overstimulated her. Whenever every time you see her break out that feather, she's been overstimulated. She's got to calm herself down.
I'm not used to it because everybody compliments me through bullying, and I love it. Just gentle bullying amongst friends.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah? Did you have another question, Druid?
No, go for it.
What other Elder Scrolls games have you played besides Skyrim? If any?
I started in Oblivion. Oblivion was on Xbox 360, probably the first game I ever had loaded up into it. I had a reclining gaming chair with the speakers on the side, and I can just hear it, like the intro. You were born 1914, like the year of Uriel. I can't remember, but I can hear his voice in my soul, and I've loved that game. I tried to play Morrowind, and I couldn't. I managed to jump back into Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. So I was like, I have that appreciation for certain kind of like retro-esque games, but Morrowind, I don't know what it was. I just couldn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed the Elder Scrolls Oblivion and Skyrim.
I fully comprehend that 100%, and I'm with you, actually. Even though I did eventually complete Morrowind, when I first bought it, I was super stoked to get it, because I had played the original Arena when it came out, when it was brand new long ago. It was the first of its kind at that time, that first-person perspective. It and the other one that came out around the same time was Ultima Underworld. That first-person perspective kind of free-roaming 360 rotation kind of camera. Both of those were very unique at the time, and I loved Elder Scrolls Arena. In fact, it still kind of has a place in my heart that makes it my favorite. Even though I tried to play it on stream, and I'm like, how did I play this game? It makes my eyes hurt now.
I remember that.
But but Morrowind, there was something about it that I couldn't quite get into. It just felt so brown, because it was just very brown. It really was visually very brown, but eventually I did end up with lots of mods later on beating it. But I feel you.
I heard mods help a lot, just little things to make the game much improved.
Agreed. In fact, Oblivion, for the same thing for me, I couldn't actually get too far into it. I got really frustrated with Oblivion's leveling system. You know how pretty much all of the Elder Scrolls games, it tries to keep the creatures relatively within your level, right? It levels up. And also with Oblivion, its actual character leveling system is the most complex of all of the Elder Scrolls games, and it's very annoying. Like it actually, there's some really interesting, cool YouTube videos about how the leveling system in Oblivion is broken and really needs fixing, and that was what I felt. But I ended up finding an Oblivion overhaul that de-leveled everything. Basically, it put everything at a static level. And then it also turned it into an XP-based game so that you gained XP and you get to put your points wherever you want to. It was so much more fun when I played it like that, that it blew my mind. I just played it all the way through and loved it a ton. So it's called...
So are you excited for Sky Oblivion then?
I am. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. Like,
It's going to be so much fun.
yeah.
So hyped.
I just
So
hope
hyped.
that Bethesda doesn't do what they've claimed they're going to do and release a remastered Oblivion, around the same time or before that, because that would...
I heard they were.
Yeah, that's going to be really annoying if they do that.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to crap on all of the modders who've done all that work on Sky Oblivion, and that's just irritating.
To me, if they do that, that's just gonna shatter the Skyrim community's entire trust in Bethesda if they do that.
I think it's going to hurt the entire Elder Scrolls community. You know what I mean? I think I think it'll hurt their future sales of Elder Scrolls 6 when and if they ever get that out.
Oh, they're already saying that players aren't going to like it. And I'm like, well, look at the modding communities, see what the best mods are and why people like it, and then there's your answers right there. Okay, just saying. Do you, Survivalist, are you into modding your games at all, or are you like more of the vanilla type?
Oh, I am French vanilla. So as much as I am vanilla, I got a spice to what I got going on. So I've dabbled very, very minimally. I use crowd control for a follower goal stream, which is a whole basic level setup for modding. And I've also used, when I played Fallout 4, a couple of the community right off the front page type mods. They were super easy to integrate. They weren't overly complicated. So I could just click, download, give it a shot, and they worked actually pretty well.
Yeah. Modding is pretty cool. Like that Oblivion overhaul that I did. The de-leveling part was one of the things that made it so fun, because one of the things that was frustrating about it was, I was like I had gotten to be like a 7th level character, and then I'd go in the water and get slaughtered by a slaughterfish, and that just seemed dumb to me.
Slaughterfish suck. That's just the point.
They do. But the thing is, when you de-level it, when you make it so that, this dungeon has monsters that you probably don't want to face, so don't go in there right now. But it's okay, you're 5th level, you can swim in the water because the slaughterfish isn't going to kill you. Like, that feels more realistic to me than everything is always relatively around your level. But,
I'm going to jump in here real quick. Extra Fate asks, what is the most valuable lesson you have learned from streaming or being a part of a community?
Wow, that's a great question.
When it comes to the value of something I've learned, I've gone through some pretty intense things already in my first year of being a streamer. And I feel like the thing that I learned the most is it's a 2-part thing. The first part of it is you can't always be out there supporting people. And I do a lot. I feel like I know how hard it is for people. I feel like I'm trying to keep people up. I can only have certain so many tabs open, or it won't even read me on anyone's feed. So I have to be very selective. I'm like, I want to be here. I want to hang out with them today. And I feel like it's always a choosing game, and I don't like that. It's not. That's not what it really is. It's just, I have time today. I'd like to come by, look who's online, and look, this awesome person. Druid's being silly today, talking about RimWorld. We got Stormy running some D&D. I love it. And but the thing that I did learn from that is to not put so much expectation on what you should be doing. It's just do your best without constantly overthinking, and that's a big problem for me. So.
Yeah.
Trust me, I get it, buddy. I get it. Those are great lessons. Absolutely.
It's very valuable. It's tough because it's one of those things where because I would love to be more active in at the same in so many places, and I'm just like, I hate this.
I mean, there's only so much time in the day, and there's only, like you said, so many tabs you can open where it actually makes sense. And Yeah, I get you.
Uh,
I try. I mean, I try and be everywhere at once, and it's just not possible.
mm-mm.
But you gotta at some
One
point.
thing
Yeah.
I just out kind of a point beyond is jumping back to something that really I feel helped me grow as a streamer
Mhm.
is I am paying attention to where I have the most fun, where I'm enjoying myself, where what I'm enjoying about things. And I have learned so much from all these fantastic people I've watched, including Druid, including Stormy, and a lot of people at Stormkeep and the people outside in the boundaries and the friend zones.
Mhm.
Like everyone that I've talked to that I enjoy hanging out with, I try to learn. And I also try to give a little back. Like I am not a technical person. I am not a technical genius at all. I'm a dreamer. So I give people whatever ideas pop into my head, no matter how weird. And every once in a while, someone's like, I love that. I'm going to use that. And I'm like, yes.
Well, on that note, this is a perfect kind of segue into it's getting close to the time where we got to start wrapping up. Chesycat asks, could Sir please explain his 3C theory for running a successful channel?
Oh, she went for the personal one. All right. Okay. So I believe I came up with a concept of the 3Cs and the major C. So a triangle, if you will. So the triangle is formed up of three important things that really help a channel grow. That would be the community, the content, and the charisma. And to explain each of these just a little bit, obviously your community is your community. The people you have around, the people you're supporting, the people are supporting you, the people that are talking about things, that kind of stuff. And then you have your content, what kind of engagement you have with the games you're playing, with your response in chat, with events that you run. So all these things kind of build up your content. And the third is charisma. And charisma, I feel like, is like where people might get the idea wrong, because charisma is your ability to connect to people. And charisma doesn't mean you're always going to be the funniest. It doesn't mean you're maybe the most well-dressed, fancy person. It means that you have the ability to reach out and connect to people and be charismatic in that way. And if you can, like, everyone has different levels. It works for different people in different ways. Some people are better with their content and their community. Some people are better with their charisma and their content, maybe not so much with their community. And if you can learn to master all threes, I think the big C is the most important. And that is your, I'm trying to think of the exact word I use, your core, your amount of effort that you put into it. So if you put more effort and you'll see improvements, that's a theme. Keep up with it.
Very
love
wise
that.
for a young man. I'm very impressed. Very
Thank you.
impressed. Yes.
I love that. Gonna have that wrist. As them young kids say.
Old school charm. Old school charm.
Well, on that note, sadly, we got to say goodbye to our charming friend, Survivalist. Man, it's been awesome having you on the show, sir. You are full of the riz and full of whiz, because full of wisdom. And
That high wisdom stat.
that's right. We really appreciate you and your content. Everyone, please go support Survivalist Gaming and what he's doing. He's exactly the amazing kind of human being that makes Twitch and the world a better place. So we got to lift him up and get him going. And I just thank you for coming on the show, brother.
And thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun. It was above and beyond even what I expected.
Aww.
I'm super excited for Legacy of the Lore Masters and running through that. That's going to be just what we touched in D&D today. So I wish you all the best, and I will see you around, I'm sure.
All right.
See the river of Twitch. We appreciate you.
See you soon. Ah, man, the time goes by so fast, doesn't it, Druid? Especially
does.
when we have amazing folks like Survivalists on.
I know. We could yap forever.
I know. We could have been here talking forever, like you said, but yep.
Yeah.
It's always a great experience with unique people. I love that I have so much in common with him. I'm so happy that he found you and that you shared him with us.
Random raid. It's beautiful. Happens sometimes. You get those random raids and you're like,
Mhm.
people?
Speaking of amazing people, we have another amazing person coming on next week. None other than the wonderful Lady of Omune, right? I got that right? Yes. Quinlan is going to be on. Yep. She's in the Rusty Tarkonix circle with Omune being her significant other. And he told us all about her. And so I feel like it's going to be a treat to get to know her even more.
So excited. Another Pacific Northwest girly on this. I'm so excited.
Right. Fantastic. All right. So with that, real quick announcements before we wrap up. Just as a quick reminder again, Thursday, please drop by sometime in the stream. I'll be doing a 12-hour stream of the brand new game Avowed, very RPG first person kind of thing. And don't forget D&D tomorrow with Druid IRL, Extirpate Fate, Banana Tom OG, and It's Star Kitty. Dragon Metal Saga continues with session 47, I think. And
something like that.
Yeah, we'll see what happens next. All right. Anything you want to share with the folks? Any announcements you want to make, Druid?
Stormy's doing his first 12-hour stream on Thursday. I got nothing.
Okay. Other than your usual, I love you guys.
Yeah, I love you guys.
All right, let's wrap this. Here we go. Thank you for coming to the show.
Please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below.
And if you're cracking up and listening to the podcast,
please rate and review the episode.
We're Bandwidth
and Banter.
Thank you.
And good night.
Goodbye.